There is a dish called ortolan in French cuisine, well known for being an extraordinary delicacy. In France, it is praised as a dish that embodies the soul, and the review of this food also says that when you eat ortolan, you will experience a whole new world of flavor. However, there is a unique tradition when eating ortolan. People eat ortolan with a white cloth over their heads, and that is because the cooking process of this dish is extremely cruel. So there has been a saying that eating ortolan infuriates God, and from a certain point, people started covering themselves with a cloth wrapped while eating to not be seen eating it. Then how cruel is ortolan's cooking process? Ortolan is made with a bird called ortolan bunting. In order to make this dish, the ortolan bunting is caught alive and then its eyes are removed. Then, it is kept in a dark box where no light enters and fed with sorghum, grapes, and figs for a month. The reason why the eyes are removed in this process is to force the bird to only eat. Merely eating like this for a month, the bird becomes obese and 2 to 4 times larger than its original size. When it gets to that point, the cooking starts. It's been cruel enough up to now, but the real brutality begins from now on. The fattened ortolan bunting is soaked in Armagnac cognac, which is a type of brand and lets the liquor fill its lungs and stomach, drowning the bird. Afterward, the ortolan is baked in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes and plucked, and the dish is ready. The taste of this finished dish is said to be truly heavenly, and its superb flavor is described as irresistible. The way of eating ortolan is quite unusual as well. When this dish is served, customers cover their heads with a white cloth and start eating from the legs held by the head. Then they put the whole bird in the mouth, leaving out only the head, and savor it, chewing up the small bones and internal muscles and spitting out the big bones. It is said that at first ortolan tastes similar to hazelnut, and when eating the whole bone and flesh, a new world of flavors opens up, and lastly, when chewing the lungs and stomach, the sweetness of Armagnac bursts out as a taste of heaven. It has been said that the reason for eating covered with a white cloth is to hide from God, who would be infuriated to see how people indulge in this cruel dish. But in fact, it was rather to keep the aroma of ortolan from diffusing by putting a cloth over the head. It is claimed to be a method devised to savor more intensely the aroma of the dish that spreads within the cloth over the head. It is known that many of the former French presidents enjoyed this dish as well. Supposedly, President Mitterrand passed away after enjoying this dish for his last supper. But in the end, ortolan was banned, partly because of the cruelty of its cooking process, and partly because there was a small population of ortolan bunting worldwide to begin with, and using it for culinary purposes reduced significantly its numbers. This put the bird on the verge of extinction, and that was the biggest problem with the ortolan dish. For that reason, all activities regarding ortolan bunting, such as hunting, slaughtering, cooking, tasting, etc., were banned, and severe punishment was imposed if caught illegally hunting. Additionally, in order to solve this problem, from 2010, reared ortolan buntings were released and protected, increasing back their population. Due to this recovery, a movement to restore the ortolan dish took place in France at the time. But regardless of the population number, its cooking process was so cruel that public opinion was not favorable, and the restoration movement ended unsuccessfully. Nevertheless, it is known that currently ortolan is still being traded through illegal routes, and hunters for ortolan bunting still exist. Everyone likes delicious food, but it is questionable whether we should eat delicious food in such a cruel way.